Thank you so much, and Merry early Christmas to everybody. We only got a week and a half to go. If you haven't got your shopping done, you still got a little time left, but we're getting right down to it, and that means it's time for our annual Christmas concert here at the beautiful Lutheran Church of the Redeemer. We're honored to play for you today, and honestly, I was driving out here. I say this every year. I was driving out here today, and it was a little rainy, it was a little foggy. I was thinking maybe there could be snow. I was kind of worried nobody's going to show up today, and look at this. We got our biggest audience of the entire year, so thank you very much for coming out and celebrating with us today. We switched it up a little bit, and we played Sleigh Ride first this year. That's a little plot twist for you, but it's something we've got to play every year. I love that tune, but this year we decided to try it out first because I'm saving a space at the end of the concert for something pretty grand. If you look at the program, I think you have an idea of what's coming up, but we'll talk about that later on. But we're going to give you a nice selection of a smorgasbord of poppy tunes and a little bit of serious and everything in between here, all related to Christmas. We started out, obviously, with the poppy side of the spectrum, and we're going to continue with that with a jazzy tune that combines good King Wenceslas with the swing beats of the big band music of the 40s and 50s. So kind of combining them together for good swing Wenceslas. The arranger here is actually one of the crown jewels of the jazz world, a man named Sammy Nestico. You've heard me talk about him up here on the podium before. One of my favorite arrangers, and a guy who worked with basically every big band director over the years, most famously Count Basie. That kind of Count Basie sound, a lot of that comes from Sammy Nestico, but he worked with everybody else as well, and he actually wrote a lot of music for concert band, which is pretty rare in the jazz world. This one was actually originally orchestra first, but we're stealing it here for the concert band. But I think you'll really enjoy how it goes between the kind of serious classical sound and a little bit of that toe tapping, finger snapping jazz beat. Have a good time, a good swing Wenceslas. We're swinging. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're moving on with, as advertised at the beginning, moving on with some John Rutter tunes. And as was introduced, John Rutter is a composer mainly known for his choral music, and that's kind of a theme of what we're doing here tonight. We're going to be playing several pieces originally for choir and doing them in our concert band sort of way. We'll have a big one in the second half that's going to do that as well. But John Rutter is a real jewel of a composer, English composer, who, interestingly enough, writes all religious music, basically all religiously themed music, but doesn't really consider himself to be overtly religious. He says that he's more of a spiritual man himself, and he's very inspired by the message, by the spirituality, and he thinks that comes out in the music so beautifully, and that's kind of why he writes in that way. He also grew up with, being friends with a lot of choral religious composers, so maybe that kind of had something to do with it. But unlike a lot of modern composers, and John Rutter is still alive, actually, but unlike a lot of modern composers, he doesn't really like to do the 20th century, 21st century atonal and ugly sounds and experimental. And I think there is a place for that, but there's also a place for the other side as well. And John really likes the more consonant sounds, melodies you can sing along with, lush harmonies that just have a very, invoke these beautiful, these beautiful motives and feelings. And I think he's a really special modern composer for that. And I think that's one of the reasons why his music gets played a lot. Chances are, I bet a lot of you have heard a John Rutter tune before, and especially around this time of the year, you get a lot of his Christmas-themed tunes being played, even on the radio and in movies and such. We're going to do 4 of them right in a row, and we're going to start out with one of the more popular tunes, a tune called Nativity Carol, which you'll hear all the sections of the band passing the melody around at one point or another. All right, something I probably should have talked about in the last couple tunes when we did our Good Swing Wenceslas is an insert in your program that I bet all of you have looked at already for our next concert, our big band dinner dance concert. It's come up in February, just around the time of Valentine's Day, right afterwards. But we did this a couple years ago, and it was a really big success. We're bringing it back, and what it is a full concert with a catered dinner and a dance floor as well. There's going to be a cash bar. All the details can be found on that flyer, and if you use your phone and you scan the QR code that's on there, you can actually get ticketing information today. You can actually go and get your tickets at a discounted rate for that concert. It's going to be really special. We have we're doing all romantic themed music. We're going to have a trumpet soloist, Jamie Bostic, a wonderful local trumpet player who's going to do some Chuck Mangione and do some Louis Armstrong and a couple other tunes. So if you want to have a great night of big band music played by the best concert band in Birmingham, Michigan, come out and check out the Big Band Dinner Dance. And like the last time that we did it, we're also going to collaborate with my other community band, the Downriver Community Band, to have a giant big band and have some really awesome sound for you guys. So if that sounds interesting, please scan that code and you can get your tickets early. Good Christmas present, perhaps, for somebody in your family. All right, but moving on with another John Rutter tune. This is going to be Star Carol. This one's a little bit more upbeat, a little bit more rhythmic, and for me, it kind of reminds me of like snow falling on a sunny day. You know how the sun will hit the snow and you get the sparkly kind of look in there. It has that shimmery, sparkly feel. I think you can hear that in the music we're going to play. You'll hear the sparkles in the air. Here it is, Star Carol. All right, two more Rudder tunes for you. And this next one, Candlelight Carol, is one of the most famous pieces that Rudder recorded with his personal vocal ensemble. So he was a teacher first, then he became a famous composer, then with all those resources and all those friends in the music business, he got together his buddies and a lot of talented people, and he founded the Cambridge Singers. And the Cambridge Singers over the years have become one of the most renowned vocal groups in the world. They've actually done several recordings of the Messiah, famous recordings of the Messiah. We're going to play that later on in the program. They've also performed a lot with Mannheim Steamroller, Chip Davis's group, if you know the Fresh Air Christmas albums. They didn't do on like the first couple of them, but kind of the mid Fresh Air Christmas, kind of the mid tier ones, or not tier, but mid timeline ones. He's going to be involved in those, or the group's going to be involved in those, and they have some wonderful recordings. So if you're a fan of choral music and you don't know where to look for choral recordings, look no further than the Cambridge Singers. You can find all the tunes we're doing today done by that group online pretty easily. And like I said, including the next one, Candlelight Carol. we got one more tune on the first half, and then we'll take a short break, and we'll come back for a second half of music. And I wanted to point out before our intermission that we're doing kind of a gimmick that we've done the last couple of years that's pretty fun. It lets you guys have a little bit of choice on what we're going to play later on in the evening. For our encore, we are planning on playing an encore. Hopefully you guys will give it to us at the end. But we're going to play an encore at the end of the performance, and you guys, with your donations, get to choose which tune we play, either the First Noel or Deck the Halls, one version or the other. And we've got two good versions for you. There we are. And the point of this is, we're a community organization where we always are looking for a little bit of support in terms of doing new projects, going on trips, putting things together for you guys, and every dollar really counts. So if you're feeling generous and you want to, and you're liking what you're hearing up here, and you want to give us a little Christmas gift, throw a little money in the jar, and you get to decide either First Noel or you get to decide Deck the Halls, and we'll count those up after intermission. So if you want to get your donations in, make sure you get over here in time for the second half. Okay, so we'll play one more tune for you. We're actually going to play the namesake of the concert, Rejoice and Be Merry, and afterwards, like I said, we'll take a short break, and we'll be right back for you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That one had some fire to it, for sure. All right, we're the Birmingham Concert Band. I'm Patrick Jensen again. We got a second half of music for you. That was our Hanukkah selection of the evening, which combined a couple different Hanukkah tunes together to create a really nice rhythmic experience, I think. For the next one, without further ado, I should say we're gonna try to pick it up maybe a little bit in the second half, because I know a lot of you are looking at your phones, looking at your watches. The Lions game is happening really soon. So we'll try to get you out of here as soon as possible. So without further ado, next tune, which is called Wexford Carol, and it's going to be conducted by the former conductor of the band, the current librarian of the band, one of the French horn members of the band, and also a man who was a music educator and could play bass clarinet and basically everything else under the sun. Conductor emeritus of the band, Grant Hemke. Please welcome him up to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. All right. Thank you very much, Patrick. The tune we're about to play for you with the Wexford Carol has its origins in Ireland, and according to musicologists, it's approximately 6 centuries old. Now, if you apply the old theory that a good tune is one that lasts the test of time, I think I can probably safely say this is a good tune. I also think about the arrangement. The arrangement does a great job of keeping that Irish feel, because it's an Irish tune. But one of the things I really love about this arrangement is it gives our piccolo player, Lynn Vassilitis, an opportunity to be featured on something other than the Stars and Stripes Forever. So, the Wexford Carol.
Can you get one more round of applause for Grant Hemke, please? Yeah. A personal moment of accomplishment, though. If you remember last year, I played the triangle on a tune, and I missed the triangle completely. I flubbed my big moment. Didn't flub it this time. Got it 100% this time, 100%. All right, but anyways. All right, so we're going to bring up our guest vocalist now. As prefaced at the beginning of the concert, his name's Mike Bejan. Me and Mike go way back. In fact, we've been performing for about I think it's like 10, 11, 12 years together with the Downriver Community Band, the other community band that I conduct. Mike has a wonderful resume of musical accomplishments over the year. He's a musical educator, a wonderful percussionist, actually, which is that's what he plays in the Downriver Band. And if you came to our last big band dinner dance concert with this band, he performed on that concert as well. And he's the guy who played Sing, 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 the Chips Ahoy song. He's the one playing that. That guy is the guy who's going to be singing the solos here tonight. That's pretty cool, isn't it? But Mike, as a vocalist, has all kinds of performances, literally all over the world. He's even performed for a couple of U.S. presidents. Excellent vocalist. So please welcome him to the stage, Mr. Mike Bejan for vocals.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make your Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be far away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years, we all will the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Sounded great, Mike. Really nice. We're going to do another song with Mike now, and we will bring him back for our encore selection as well. So whatever, I'm curious. I'm very excited to see what you guys selected for the encore, but we'll find out in a few minutes. But for now, the last one Mike will be joining us with is "Do You Hear What I Hear?" A tune all of you know. But this arrangement, I think, is pretty special. It's I think one of the better Christmas arrangements ever made for concert band. And although he's not the only one to do with it, the main force behind this is a guy named John Moss. And John Moss is actually a local presence, a man who grew up around this area, or actually had his education around this area. Went to a couple different, went to Central, and then went to Michigan State University for his music studies. And then over the years has amassed one of the largest catalogs of concert band arrangements. If you go on J.W. Pepper, which is where we buy most of our band music, you can find literally hundreds of arrangements by John Moss. And he's one of those special arrangers who can make a middle school piece sound really, really awesome, but then he can make a college level or professional level arrangement sound great as well. He's even worked with people like John Williams before, doing some of his orchestrations and arrangements for some of the Olympics and military type stuff that he's done over the years. Just an amazing arranger, one of those local presences, and I'm glad he has something to do with this arrangement. You'll hear kind of like a John Rutter sort of beginning, very melodic, very flowing, lush harmonies and all that, and then towards the end, you'll hear kind of a march, militaristic sort of thing to bring it out, really glorious ending to it. So here's a great arrangement. Do you hear what I hear?
Said the night wind to the little lamb, do you see what I see? Way up in the sky, little lamb, do you see what I see? A star, dancing in the night with a tail as big as a gun. With a tail as big as a kite. Said the little lamb to the shepherd boy, do you hear what I hear? A song in the wood. Do you hear what I hear? A star high above the tree with a voice as big as the sea. a voice as big as the sea. Said the shepherd boy to the mighty king, do you know what I know? In your palace warm, mighty king, do you know what I know? A child shivers in the cold, he will bring him silver and gold. Let us bring him silver and gold. Said the king to the people everywhere, listen to what I say, what I say. Pray for peace, people everywhere. Listen to what I say, what I say. A child sleeping in the night, he will bring us goodness and light. He will bring us goodness and light. Light, red light.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and again, thanks for everybody for coming out today on a Sunday, especially with a Lions game going on. We got one more tune for you that you can get off to your Lions parties. But I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, and I want to really thank everybody for supporting the band. I really want to thank the church here, Lutheran Church of the Redeemer, for hosting us and getting everything ready for us. It makes it so easy for us every time we play a concert, and we're so appreciative for that. You guys know the pitch I always like to throw out to you guys at concerts. If you play an instrument and you're looking to have some fun, you want to come join us up on stage, we're always looking for new members. And it doesn't matter what level of experience you have. If you haven't touched your horn for 40, 50 years, that's fine. You can come and play with us, have some fun. We welcome all skill levels, and we really try to have fun in this ensemble. That's the whole point of being here. So if you want any more information about that, see me, see somebody in the band, or you can visit our website, birminghamcommunityband.org? No? What is it? Birmingham Concert Band. Darn it. I always screw it up. The Downriver one's so similar. BirminghamConcertBand.com. There we go. That's the website. We've got all our concert dates on there. And remember that sheet inside the program has all the information for our next performance, the big band dinner dance. All right. Our last tune before we play that unscheduled encore is a grand one. It's called The Messiah. Another one that I bet all of you have heard before by George Frederick Handel. One of the top 10 pieces of classical music probably ever written, I think, in classical music history. Has a pretty remarkable history behind it. Handel was a Baroque composer. He actually has the same dates as Bach. So if you know J.S. Bach, the guy that does da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, that guy, think of his music and then compare it to maybe like the Hallelujah chorus before. Compare it to that kind of sound. Don't they sound pretty different? But they were written about the same time. It's because Handel was a little bit more forward-thinking, a little bit more modern. He was pushing towards what like Mozart and Beethoven were going to do a few years later. And he's really seen as one of those composers that's like 1 foot Baroque, 1 foot classical, kind of moving, transitionary kind of composer. He was an amazing composer in terms of work ethic, though. A guy who claimed he was inspired by God oftentimes when he would perform, and for this, or when he would write. And for this one, he had a very short time period to write the tune. He wrote it in, I think it was 25 days. And if you've ever seen the whole version of this tune before, it's like like an hour and a half, hour. It's enormous. Just imagine in the old days, no computers, of course. This is he's got candlelight at night. He's got a quill, writing down all the notes for over an hour of music and doing that, just physically writing it down, and then he's got to think of it and arrange it and do all that kind of stuff. The copyist said that his writing was so scratchy that they had to go to him for clues about what he actually wrote down. But people have analyzed it, and they realize that even though it's sloppy, it looks sloppy, all the notes are there, all of them are right. Even in that fast, rushed way, he got it all pen to paper and got it all down, and the result, what we're going to play here today, is kind of like the highlights of it. We're not going to play the whole thing. We've got the Lions game cut up. We're going to do several movements featuring a couple of the more famous melodies that you've heard, finishing with, of course, the Alleluia chorus, the glorious ending there. So hopefully you enjoy our suite from Messiah, and stay tuned for possibly one more tune after that. Thanks for everybody. Merry Christmas.
Deck the hall with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now a gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us, fa la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus, fa la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure, fa la 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 la. While I tell of Yuletide treasure, fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la. Don we now gay a barrow, fa la 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 la. Roll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la. the hall with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Don we our gay apparel. Fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient yeoman carol. Fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la.